What is good, people? I was just thinking about doing a prediction list, my wish list of guest characters that I think should be in the MK11 combat pack or packs. But instead of me going through a number of characters, I just decided to do one character that I'm banking on that I hope would be in the game within good reason. So I want to give you some backstory on the character as well as his skills and his abilities and how he would fit within the game. So I'm speaking of none other than the Night King from Game of Thrones. So here is a bit of backstory on who he is for those that don't know who he is. George R.R. Martin introduces the others in the prologue of A Game of Thrones, describing them as tall and gout and hard as old bones, with flesh pale as milk, with eyes deeper and bluer than any human eyes, a blue that burned like ice. Accompanied by intense cold, they wear armor that seemed to change color as it moved, and wield their thin crystal swords capable of shattering steel. The others move silently and they speak their own language. George R.R. Martin writes their voices are like crackling ice on a winter lake. They are shown to be vulnerable to weapons made of dragon glass. So that's just a little brief background into the others, who is led by the Night King. So let's speak on his abilities and skills. The Night King possesses a number of supernatural powers and or abilities. Conversion. The Night King can turn a human baby into a White Walker by pressing the tip of his finger to the baby's cheek. The child's skin will begin to pale and its eyes will turn the same blue as the other White Walkers. Reanimation. The Night King can raise corpses as whites. He doesn't require physical contact to do so, and can raise thousands of whites at a single time just by lifting his arms. Enhanced strength. The Night King presumably has the same inhuman strength that other White Walkers exhibit. He is strong enough to throw an ice spear a distance of at least a mile. Weapon shattering. The Night King's touch can presumably shatter regular metal weapons. Marking. The Night King can mark someone so that he knows exactly where that person is, and no magical boundary can stop him from pursuing a person so marked. Minor seismic control. The Night King can cause fusions in the ground, like miniature earthquakes in other words. I think he'll be an awesome character for MK11. I believe he should be a mixture between Geras and obviously Sub-Zero. Geras, due to the fact that he controls the elements of time and sand, and the way he seems to play from the videos that I've seen, that would work really well with the Night King, controlling the elements of ice and frozen weather, as opposed to Sub-Zero, who can control elements of ice and ice projectiles. So that would be the slight difference between the two. His fatalities could be his opponent tries to attack him with their weapon and it shatters, and then he decapitates them with his own weapon. His second could be him unleashing his undead army, ripping the opponent to shreds. I mean, he'll make a really good character for fatalities. Game of Thrones is filled with fatalities from the White Walkers and even the Night King. If he is included in the game, there will be 3 characters that wield ice abilities, in other words. But the same could be said for the whole Cage family. All 3 of them, Sonya Blade, Cassie Cage and Johnny Cage, practically do similar things. Not exactly the same, but they're pretty much similar. The Night King would be a great inclusion into the game, I feel. If this was to happen, it will be a perfect marketing tool for the game to sell even more, because Game of Thrones has a huge fan base. On top of that, Game of Thrones releases season 8 next month. I believe it's a week before Mortal Kombat 11 has its official release as well. So, you know, it could tie in really well in terms of promotion and marketing. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know if you think he will be a good inclusion, or if he'll be a bad inclusion. Peace.